You're listening to The Parallel Paths, a podcast designed to elevate your mind, body, and spirit so that you can get everything you want out of life. The only question is, are you ready?
Do you have a business or looking to start one? Establishing your online presence is key. Bluehost makes it quick and easy to get your website up and going, making it an ideal solution for beginners with its fast loading speeds and variety of features. Powering over 2 million websites, Bluehost offers a full range of hosting services, SEO, and much more, all at budget-friendly prices. Sign up today for web hosting as low as $3.95 per month. Click our link in the show notes for instant access to this incredible deal.
Welcome back to the Parallel Paths podcast. I'm your co-host, Makita Moore.
I'm your other co-host, Blair McClendon.
And we're back again with another special episode with this season catered towards healing the Black community. And this episode is all about mental health, which is one of my favorite topics as a mental health therapist. Blair, do you want to start us off?
Well, I guess for one with mental health, that's something that's just really become, I don't want to say popular or mainstream, but that's kind of what it is in the past few years. Like, to me, that's been a taboo topic in our community forever. Like, never heard anybody really going to see a therapist or talking about the mental issues or the mental struggles that they face up until recent, where we've had just brave individuals start stepping up and telling their stories. But it's super important. It's definitely something that needs to be addressed, and that's something all of us should take just as serious as we do our physical health.
Yeah, it's crazy that we do, invest time going to the doctor, but we don't really keep the most important thing in check, which is our mind, our brain. The fact that just part of our culture is just not to take care of that. And, even just within the Black community, there's such a stigma behind mental health, even though all of us are experiencing mental health because of racial trauma. It's so prevalent in that community, and we try to pretend like it's not there. Or, I know a big thing is like, take it to Jesus. I mean, prayer works, right? Prayer works. At the same time, if you continue to ignore and, shove down these traumas that you're experiencing, it's going to come up in other ways. Like, we talked before about Black on Black violence. Like, happy people don't be killing people. If we were all sane and good, then we wouldn't have to act out in those ways. Or, substance use is another big problem within our community. A lot of broken families. So it's obvious that, and even heart disease is so tied to stress, and the way we eat. So there's so many issues, so many indicators that mental health is an issue within our community, and we're just not addressing it because our parents didn't see, a therapist, and their parents did. So it's like, now we feel like if we do it, that must mean we're crazy, when in reality, you're crazy for not seeing someone, not taking care of your mental health and your capacity. So,
yeah, I definitely think it's things that traumas and different things that are passed down just in your DNA. Like, you're born with some of this stuff, just based on what your ancestors went through. So, I mean, it could be subconscious things that you're not even necessarily aware of, but it's things that you have to address. I saw a quote. It's like, you're not responsible for the issues that you're inherited, but you're 100% responsible for fixing them.
mm-hmm.
So I think with mental health, like, it's just, to me, it's not that we were necessarily neglecting it as a community, but it's more so we just weren't aware. Like, I think it just took a level of awareness to be like, yeah, I am dealing with some mental stuff. Like, this voice in my head is kind of controlling me a little too much and causing me to do A, B, and C. But once you can kind of gain control of that, which we got a number of remedies that we'll address, but once you can kind of gain control of that that monkey mind, and especially if you have the opportunity to actually vent and share, it allows you to become lighter. You're not as heavy. You're not holding on to that weight. And at the end of the day, that's really what's causing 99% of the issues is the weight and the things that hold us down.
Mm-hmm. And I like how you said brave, because it does take some bravery to speak out about what you're struggling with. When the ironic part about it is that every single person on this earth is struggling with something
For sure.
currently, or they're headed into a struggle, or they just come from a struggle. You're not the only one to experience anxiety, depression, sadness, grief, whatever it is. Everyone deals with it, but we walk around as if we don't. And then, we look at one another as if we're crazy when shit finally bubbles up. And it's like, well, if we keep walking around like there's nothing wrong,
Yeah.
especially as part of the Black community, when we're constantly being attacked, and we sit there and trying to play victim, but it's like, yeah, like you said, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control what you do with it. And if we don't take care of ourselves and show ourselves that love, then we can't expect other people to care about us. So
I mean, how many times do you ask somebody like, "Hey, how are you?" and everybody's like, "Oh, I'm good." And that's just like the standard response. But like, what percentage of those people are actually what they would deem as good?
right. Yeah. And also a part of it is we've gotten so used to living with pain that it's just like, oh, it's just a normal thing. And it's like,
Exactly.
for me, like I knew there was a higher level of happiness I could experience, but until I got there, I was like, damn, like I didn't realize how far off track I was. And it makes me even more driven and passionate about what I do as a therapist, because I know that some people are struggling even more than I am, and they don't know a way out. Luckily I had gifts and a certain awareness naturally to know a way out, but most people don't know a way out, and like, uh,
Yeah. Most times it takes something like super traumatic to get you to start seeking a different route, or to start trying to find another way to feel good. And in my case, it happened to be with my digestive issues and the stomach problems that I was having. So after that, the anxiety and depression and all that stuff came to the surface, and it's like, okay, I got a lot of stuff I got to address, I need to deal with. So I took everything into consideration when it came to my own healing: mental, physical, spiritual. Hence, 3 layers of wellness. Like that's the 3 layers. Like that's exactly what I'm alluding to. But is literally just a reflection of like my own journey, and like just telling my story and seeing if it can help somebody else. Because everybody is struggling, like you said. Um, Nobody has anything perfect. Everybody has their own unique challenges. Um, but the biggest key is knowing that there is a way to fix this stuff.
exactly. And it doesn't have to go, you don't have to see a therapist. Like, I definitely encourage everybody to see a therapist, because there's just something powerful about sitting there in front of someone and speaking your truth without any fear that that person can use that truth against you. 'Cause, you can go to your mom or you can go to a friend, but they still have their own judgments, and their own limitations. And they don't have the training to be able to give you, certain kind of advice and direction and reflect things. So I would definitely say at some point in time, definitely see a therapist. And if honestly, because I know even today when I tell people that I'm a therapist or a psychologist or a doctor, like they shut down immediately, people from our
Mm.
community. So that's honestly part of the reason why I started doing life coaching, because some people are more open to seeing a life coach where I'm still working through, personal limitations and anxieties and things like that. It's just under a different title, to where it's not so intimidating. But seeing a therapist isn't the only way to take care of your mental health. Blair, what are some ways that you take care of your mental health?
Um, I do want to try a therapist. I've never done a session, but I would do it. So in my own personal experience, I need to get outside. So for me, I like going on hikes, or taking a walk, uh, anything connecting with nature. Um, and it sounds probably very basic, but it's super powerful. Just taking some time to yourself and just being outside, just not being distracted by your phone, um, but just taking in the sounds of nature, the smells, everything that comes with it, and you start to feel better. I would say doing anything artistic, could be drawing, painting. If you're musically inclined, doing something like that. Meditating, any form of like physical movement, any exercise, yoga, um, just anything where you're moving, anything where you're active and you're focused on one activity. And I mean that anything that could be somebody's hobby or something that you enjoyed as a kid, like just picking up those things and figuring out what truly makes you happy and what takes you out of the stresses and the repeating patterns that are going through your head.
Hey, Parallel Podcast listeners, don't forget to check out our own personal brands. If you're looking to learn more about mindfulness, mindset, and meditation, catch me live on Instagram every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or schedule a free one-on-one consult with me. All that information is in the link in my bio at Makita Smiles. Also, if you're looking for anything health and wellness related, check out Blair's Instagram at 3Layers of Wellness for links to his website and resources. And for all my Floridians, don't forget to check out bonafidefla.com. That's bonafidefla.com for all things Florida. You can find all of this information in the show notes as well. Now back to the show.
Yeah, and I would definitely echo all that. Again, when we talk about like, we've referred to this before, like everything is energy. So again, like, you have a trauma and that's an energy that you stored in you, and you know that it's stored in you because, you're still having fears related to it. You're still having flashbacks, you might walk a certain place and feel anxious, or you might avoid certain things. So there's finding ways to transmute that energy. So a part of it could just be, revisiting that thing that was traumatic and playing it out in a different way. Or like I said, seeing a therapist, doing hypnosis. I did hypnosis. That was really transformative to me in releasing some of the anxieties that I've had. And a big part of it is just becoming more self-aware. So meditation is an amazing practice just to help you become more self-aware of, okay, what am I experiencing right now? And then having that willingness to sit there with it. Because a lot of times, it could be the biggest, baddest dude, but he don't even want to sit with the fact that he's got fear, he's got anxiety. Like, that's too scary, but he'll, run up on somebody real quick. So it's taking time to sit with yourself. So gaining that mental clarity to really know what's going on and having that willingness to acknowledge it. And also, what you're eating. Like, you have to realize that your body is built off of what you eat. So if you want to create new brain connections that are about confidence, wellness, happiness, joy, abundance, then you have to put foods in there that are going to create good connections. So eating fresh, high vibrational foods, like fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, drinking lots of water. Your brain needs water. Getting out in the sun. A lot of us, especially Black people, we are vitamin D deficient. So spend time in the sun, gazing towards the sun. If you want to do it early in the morning, you need that sun because all these materials are good for your brain function and help you combat all the trauma and everything that's coming at you constantly. Sleep. You definitely need sleep. A lot of us try to pick, especially entrepreneurs out here, you need sleep. It's a healing practice. Like I said, meditation before. And just like finding ways to express yourself. Journaling is a good reflective practice that helps. Exercising, you produce certain hormones with your exercise that are good for your brain. So think about it from a brain health perspective. So how can I keep the organ of my brain healthy? And how can I do spiritual practices, like meditation and spending time in nature, just connecting to a true source and who I truly am. So it's both of those things, both the physical as well as more of the spiritual practices that we have to do.
For sure. And one thing that is connected to is the breath. A lot of times we're not really truly breathing. So by doing the meditation and the yoga and different exercises and stuff and truly learning how to breathe, that will alleviate a lot of the stuff too. And kind of what Makita said, even with the food, think of it as peace versus chaos. The peace that you're wanting to attract into your life, or that you want to bring to your mental environment, is going to be attracted by the higher vibrational foods, like the fresh veggies, the fresh fruits, the water. And then think about what sugar does to the body and the chaos that it brings. So think about any processed food, that's chaos. So like the way that you're eating and some of the foods that you put in your body, that's materializing on an intercellular level, that's turning into conscious actions or unconscious actions that reflect that same chaos that you just put in your body. So you are what you eat.
Yep, 100%. I feel like we always take that statement for granted. We don't really understand it, but there's so much truth in it. And that's why last episode we talked about distractions. So like we talked about all these things that are put into our environment that are meant to keep us from reaching our higher selves, recognizing and understanding who we truly are and what we truly are, so we can step into our power. There's distractions all over the place, and they're meant to attack our mental health. So from the shit we watch on TV, it's trash. The shit they put in a lot of the music, it's trash. The marketing, the foods, everything is trash, meant to attack your mental health, because your mental health is the most important thing. And once you have a clean, clear mind, you'll wake up from the matrix and you'll realize what the world really is and the true power that you have to create your world. But you can't create the world of your dreams. You can't create heaven on earth if your mind is clouded and bogged down. And then now you're drinking, smoking weed all the time, doing all these other drugs in order to escape your reality, when in truth you can create your reality when you do have that healthy mind that is consistently focused on what you truly want in life. And you have to realize there's a lot of stuff in this environment that prevents us from doing that. So, watch who you hanging out with. Like, if the people around you ain't talking nothing but negativity, get away from that. Like, and people are not gonna like it, but your mental health is better, because eventually if you get to where you need to be, you can then reach back and help them out too, or just lead by example. But watch who you're hanging around with. Like Blair said, watch what you're eating, watch what you're doing with your body. So, do meditation, do yoga, sex. Watch who you're having sex with, because sex can be a powerful healing, manifesting tool.
That's also an energy shift. So you could be taking on somebody's negative energy too, or their positive energy for that matter.
Exactly. And this is why y'all don't need to be sleeping with people who are carrying guilt because they cheating on their partner, because now you got to take all that energy with you.
Damn. Dang, that's wild, but that's real. Dang, that's super real.
Happy in his relationship. They was on the edge. No, don't do it, because he carrying some guilt because he not or she not supposed to be doing what they're doing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be sleeping with people you should be sleeping with. If it's not right in your spirit, don't do it, because all this stuff is attacking your spirit, your brain. You need to keep it clean, because if you really like literally, you can have heaven on earth. Like, anything you want, you can manifest. And manifest just means bringing things from thought into material form. Like the 1%, they know it, but they don't want everyone else knowing that they can create the world of their dreams. So we're here to tell y'all you can. You just got to clean up your mind, keep your mind clean consistently. Take care of your mental. Go see a therapist, or go do these practices that we talked about in this episode, because it's so important.
For sure.
All right. So anything else you want to share on mental health, Blair? I think we gave them a lot.
No, I think we're good. If you all need help, you know where to reach us. parallelpasspodcast@gmail.com. Have a good rest of your week, and peace, love, and light.
Yes. Check the show notes for links to resources from this episode, including how to find a Black therapist, and other resources that we will put there for you. So, love y'all.
Peace.